What is up, guys, man? Y'all see the two faces next to me, man. We got
We here.
the one and only Swac in a full. We got my guy G, my guy J Max, man. They're here, man, to talk Alcorn and Southerner. They're two any schools that these guys wouldn't be on the show talking about, man. So first off, man, y'all introduce yourselves, let people know where they can find y'all, man, and say what y'all need to before we get rolling.
I'm gonna let G start it off.
Hey, what's up? This is Swac'n the Food, the boy G. This Swac'n the Food. You can find us on YouTube, Swac'n the Food. We got Instagram, Twitter, Swac'n the Food. But I'm G, Alcorn State, all day, every day. Anybody know me? I'm acting food by the Alcorn State. I love them. And I'm gonna let my boy tell y'all what school he come from because I don't even want to say the name of that school. I don't even want to
Oh
say the name.
man, G, I like how you did that introduction. It's J Max, the other half of Swac'n the Food. That's SWAC apostrophe N A Food. And I'm repping Southern University. Womp womp. Go Mighty Jaguars. We here. We're gonna represent.
Here you go.
So it is what it is. We here. We in the building, and we appreciate you for having us as well.
Appreciate it.
Oh man, hey, I couldn't talk these two schools without getting the two experts, man, talking about it. But let's go way back. Before we get into spring, man, I need both of y'all's takeaways on the season for each of y'all's schools. And y'all can talk a little trash about the other one, man. So G, man, take this one away.
It was a rough year for us. By our standards, it was a horrible year. I'm gonna be honest with you. It was a horrible year for us, rough standards. I tell people anytime my prestigious university lose to a band school, Southern University, it's a bad year for us. So we had a bad year. We ended up 6-5. I feel like our depth wasn't where we needed to be at. And we took some L's. So we got to do better. I'm holding everybody accountable. The staff, everybody getting held accountable, and I think we're gonna be better this year.
And over here at Southern, pretty much we had high expectations because we had a lot of people returning. So we feel like we definitely underachieved last year. We had our systems were in place. Even though Coach Odom's left, we still had the same systems we were running, still had the same players, probably the same language and everything. But we expected a lot more. So we definitely underachieved. We went 4-7, and most of the games we felt like we could have competed in. We had a returning quarterback, Ladarius Skelton. We had our running game. We had tight ends. Our O-line was intact. D-line was intact. It was our secondary is pretty much our weakness, and I know we'll discuss the secondary a little later. But that was the weakness of our defense. But by our standards, I won't say what G say, but the SWAC ain't the SWAC if Southern ain't competing. If we ain't competing, and look, we was 4-7, and we still packed the stadium. Ain't nobody else doing that. G them had 100 people in there for their last game.
There you go. You got all these jokes.
I mean, he's right. Hey, Southern was 6th in the entire FCS in attendance, man. I think they were the only team with the losing record of the top 20. So
top 24-7, man.
Hey, he might have a little argument there, but man, I had high expectations for both of y'all. I think I picked y'all 1st and 2nd in the division, respectively. I didn't see PV coming from anywhere, man. So Alcorn let me down. I had them riding all the way to the SWAC championship, and they had a chance late, man. But let's get into recruiting, man. I know there were some big losses on both sides. Alcorn were having to replace Felix Harper, Southern having to replace Ladarius Skelton and Marquise McClain and some other guys. Got a big return in Jordan Lewis. But J-Max, man, take this one away. How do you feel about Southern's recruiting class thus far?
I'm excited. I'm skeptical when it comes to recruiting because you never know how these kids are panning out. We have this high pedestal at where we put them, but whenever it's time to play, they don't play enough. But I'm excited about the quarterback competition. We got Bubba McDaniel coming back, and we got a kid McCoy, Bashan McCoy. He's a transfer. He's a JUCO transfer, and we have another sophomore, Harold Blood. So I'm excited to see that competition. From right now, I think Bubba might be ahead right now, starting the spring, but I feel like that Bashan McCoy is going to be a good battle to watch out for. Like I said earlier, our weakness was our secondary, and Coach Dooley did a phenomenal job. I mean, we have two transfers from Tulane. We have a transfer from Mississippi State, Josh Short. We have a transfer from FIU, another McCoy, Bashan's brother. So I'm just excited to see what that DB room looks like, and we also beefed up our D line to go along. Like I spoke about Jordan Lewis, we had Devin Cotton, we had Cam Peterson, but we also went and got Jayceon Greenhouse. Jayceon Greenhouse, one of the top JUCO D linemen in the nation. We went and got him, and we also so I'm excited. I'm excited to see what we do with those recruiting class. We lost Jatari Carter. Hopefully he gets drafted. Fingers crossed on that. Hopefully he gets drafted. And Jonathan Bishop as well on the offensive line, who's another all SWAC. I'm excited to see Bryce McNair. Bryce McNair is an Ohio transfer. I'm excited to see how he is. So, a lot of places where we lost people, we filled in with a lot of these transfer recruits, and we still got a stable of running backs. We just got a wide receiver from Coffeyville. I'm going on and on, but these guys, they pretty much retooled in the area that we were the weakest is where they concentrated more. Like I said, we had about 10 DBs signed. So I'm excited to see the competition as well in that area.
Go ahead, G.
First and foremost, like you said, we got to replace Felix Harper. That was our biggest thing, replacing Felix Harper. So we brought in Aaron Allen, Louisiana Tech transfer, and he that's to go with Markevion Quinn, Memphis transfer as well. That's who's getting all the publicity right now, bringing in. But it's a kid that was there last year, Trey Lawrence. I know we'll talk about that later, but Trey Lawrence, he was a true freshman last year, and I think I was very for Trey Lawrence last year. He was probably my pick to replace Felix Harper. So it's gonna be a battle at quarterback. But outside of quarterback, really was depth for Alcorn. I didn't have a problem with like I started mostly in the trenches. I think it was depth. Last year, I started center went out, and we started a 5'9", 240-pound center. Injuries happen, so I just think we had to improve our depth. So we brought in a center, Ronald Brown from JUCO. We also brought in a tackle, a big guy, Octavian Hollis, a 6'6", 350-pound kid, and he's strong. Because we started a true freshman at tackle as well, and he ended up getting hurt. So that's we just brought in some more depth. But we also brought in Zyrus Craft, he's actually on campus now. He's a senior in high school. Well, he graduated early to be on campus now, so he can go through spring. I think it's gonna be big for us with Zyrus Craft getting there. He's another 6'6", 350-pound kid to play tackle. Had nice offers from USM, Ole Miss. He had the Ole Miss. So he had some really nice offers there. We were able to get that kid. So I think just getting that offensive line back to where it's at, and also defensive line. I think the trenches were hurt last year. So on the defensive line, we had Chris Ballard, a 6'3", 208-pound tackle, and also we added a tackle from USM. I think that's gonna help us out a lot. His name Andrew Cole. So that's gonna help us a lot. Just with the depth. Like I said last year, we had a lot of injuries, and it wasn't that our starters weren't any good. It's the depth, and on the defensive line, you gotta have depth. And I think that's what we added this year because everyone's coming back. So we just added some depth in there. We got some depth on the defensive line, and we'll be getting back. We had a few linebackers as well. One from Rice and another from JUCO to go with Mikael Webb, who missed the whole season last year. So I was pretty impressed with our recruit class. I give it a B. We missed out on a few. I give it a B, but and it's not over just yet. So I give it a B for our recruiting class. We added some depth that we much needed.
Man, I agree with both of y'all's assessment. Coming into the recruiting class for me with Southern, the number one need for me was replace the O-line because I do think Jatari Carter's being drafted. I got him about a 4th, 5th round pick. Probably he dominated the Senior Bowl, which I was down there and got to see firsthand. I mean, he was dominating kids from Oklahoma, Ohio State. He had a really great Senior Bowl, but also just playmakers, man. I just feel like there weren't enough playmakers on the outside of the offense. Like, you had Marquise McLean who would have his moments, but you're not a pass-first offense, and I don't think he got to show really what he showed at the HBCU Legacy Bowl and some other places like the HBCU Combine, where he was just so explosive, and he looked the part at every step I've seen him go along. So I thought playmakers and secondary, man. I thought secondary at times for Southern let you down. I think that's one of the reasons they lost to Texas Southern. Andrew Body had a career day picking apart Texas Southern. So I thought you had to get some depth at the secondary. And for Alcorn, I agree with you, G. And it was size for me at the offensive line and defensive line. Not only depth, but size. I felt, for your backup, like you said, to be smaller than me is probably not a great look playing D1 football when you have Katron Evans and Antoine Owens and some of those guys in the SWAC that were 6'3", 6'4", 250. So I agree with those assessments, but I thought both teams addressed their needs. I believe they both were in the top half of the SWAC too. So I think it's promising. And this was for J-Max. You know, Fred McNair has been established at Alcorn, is going to be established until something changes. But for you, what were your thoughts on the Eric Dooley hire and the new staff he hired? Because I know in the coaching search process, some people wanted a celebrity coach. Some people thought you guys should have hired, you know, a Kevin Sumlin or someone like that. So what's your thoughts on Eric Dooley and the new staff?
Well, what G could attest to this, me and G met around we talked around April, around the spring season of last year. And I told him, I said, man, we need Coach Dooley. And I've been pushing for it since spring last year. So for me, I'm excited about it. He always wanted to come here. He's familiar. He's been here since the 90s, since our glory days, all the way up to 2009. So I've been a proponent of it. He knows the area. He knows pretty much the pipeline of this area. He has the coaches. He was coming to get our players when he was at PV. He was coming to get our players when he was at UAPB and when he was at Grambling. So since he's finally here, I feel like he will have more of an impact. He knows the style of play that we like at Southern University. We really like, we were cool with the run first because it was winning us games. But we, as a fan, we love that pass happy, chicks, we love to throw the ball. We love to throw the ball. So for him to bring that over here with the stable of running backs we had, because I forgot to mention Kobe Dillon as well. He's coming back, and I spoke with him at the end of the season, and he said specifically, this is his team now. So, I'm really excited to see how he plants his flag here. He was suggested by the great Pete Richardson. So we'll see how that goes. But for me, I was happy with the hire because I've been pushing for it since spring last year.
Man, and of course, you had Scotty down here saying he gets out recruited by Hugh in Louisiana, and he wasn't a big fan of the hire. But G, as a rival school, how did you feel about the hire? And do you feel like in this rivalry it's going to give Alcorn the upper hand, or do you think they made a good hire and you're really interested to see what Dooley does with this program?
I don't think it was a bad hire. I wasn't blown away with the hire either, but I think it was right there in the middle. Like Jay said, Dooley had some ties in Louisiana. I think, like Scotty just said in the comments, yes, Grambling I recruited him this year, but I think that's just for now because the hype and it's new and those NIL rumors and all that for now. But when you're looking at longevity, long term, Dooley will. Dooley came in and the first thing he did was he pulled up to Baton Rouge high schools and he knows exactly where to go. He knows exactly where to go. So I think that'll help Southern in the long run right now because I also think it will stabilize their program, and that's something that Southern University needs to stabilize the program. Dooley not going nowhere unless they run him off. Dooley not going nowhere. And I don't think I think for Southern and Alcorn are the only two schools in SWAC that can honestly say that right now. Stable. So I think that's a plus for Southern.
I mean, I agree. I'm interested to see the offense. I know the run game is always going to be a staple for Southern. You're going to base everything off the run game, but I need to see some evolution in the passing game because I feel like if they had any sort of a passing game against Jackson State, they win that game. If they have any sort of a passing attack against Texas Southern, they possibly could hold off Andrew Body and Texas Southern. They had probably 3 or 4 games where they win, maybe even the FAMU game where they were playing very well in the first half and kind of fell off. Like I felt like teams could adjust easily at halftime because they were very one-dimensional. Like I didn't trust Ladarius Skelton to throw the football on me. And even Bubba was very inconsistent at times. And for you guys, there was a question in the chat. What is a good record for Eric Dooley's first season at Southern? For you guys, if you had to give him an A, what would the record have to be, or what games would he have to win to have an A this year?
Well, I'm gonna start this one off. We call ourselves Standard U for a reason. So, I'm looking at our only loss being LSU. And that's just me being honest. I feel like he bulked up where we needed to. Like you just said, though, you just stated that we were in every game that we played, even the McNeese game. We just had that missing dimension, which I think Dooley will bring around to us now. And as far as Grambling out recruiting us, like I said, we bulked up where we needed, so we already had talent here. You got to recruit a whole team to beat us. We were just filling in the missing pieces.
Go ahead, G.
Your turn, G.
I give it if they were 0.7 last year, so I think it'd be good if he goes 7-4. If he goes 7, now let me tell you. Now for Southern, it's hard for him to beat Alcorn. So if he beats Alcorn, which he won't, they gonna sign to a 10-year extension. If he beat Alcorn, he get the 10-year extension. Okay, but I think
we had a coach beat Alcorn last year. You seen what happened?
Yeah, but he barely beat him.
Fair enough. I think he's got to win the last game of the year. Let me, I think that's going to give him a little bit. If you beat Grambling, you get a little bit of a pass, in my opinion. So I think that Grambling game's big in my thought. But let's get your thoughts on the schedule here. So everyone talked about the SWAC has to play out of conference games. The SWAC has to do this. For you guys, I was very critical on Southern's schedule, and I was very, very critical of just the SWAC as a whole. But Alcorn goes out and schedules Stephen F. Austin. G started off. How do you feel about Alcorn's 2022 schedules?
I love it because I was one of the ones just like you. I was critical of Southern schedule. I was critical of Jackson State schedule. I feel like we need to play these teams. Stephen F. Austin is that's a big time opponent we have coming the first week of the year to open up the season. That's a great team. And I think in order to get to where we're going, we got to play teams like this. Not playing these North Americans, and I see some lane schools playing lane. The last we've done it before, and the last time we did it, we were blowing our AD phone up. You see where he at? He's gone. I don't like playing those type of teams. But I like it. We also have McNeese and Tulane, so I think we play some nice teams. I'm really excited about our schedule. We don't have any classics that we throwing money into, and so I really like our schedule. We got some home games, so I like it.
Go ahead, Jay.
For me, at first, I'm gonna be honest. Me and G butted heads about the scheduling as far as all SWAC schools, but I kind of agree where he was coming from. He made me realize that scheduling those teams. We talk about the tournament and all that, and we want to be recognized. We got to go against those Stephen S. Austins, those McNeese, those type of teams. And I look at our schedule. Even though we playing LSU, which they're paying us a lot of money, but now we got to pay these smaller schools to come to us. So how much money are we really making? When it comes to the finances. Now, of course, I'm not a financial advisor. I don't know the answer to that. But I would definitely would like to see those type of opponents that Alcorn has scheduled as well. But as far as the schedule, it didn't move me. Yeah, it didn't move me.
That's fair, man. Listen, I'm going to be honest. I think I ranked Southern schedule last in my power rankings. I was not when I always say you get one D2 school. If you want to go get a Delta State or whoever, I'm cool with that. I understand you got to support the D2s, just like the Power Fives playing their money games for the FCS level helps those programs. But for me, I thought Alcorn, I had them ranked second. I think Valley and Alabama A&M are really the only teams I can compete with that. Because for me, I picked Stephen F. Austin. I think they make the Final Four this year in football. I think that team is that good. I'm going to be honest. Right now, Alcorn has the most challenging out-of-conference game out of any SWAC team. I mean, Stephen F. Austin has a legit Walter Payton candidate at the wide receiver spot, and they returned 18 of 22 All-Americans. And I mean, that's a tough task. So I agree with you guys. I wasn't blown away by Southern schedule, and I really, really liked Alcorn's schedule. But let's get to why we're having this episode, man. Spring practice is kicking off around the country. Jay, kick it off. What are your biggest questions about Southern entering spring practice?
Well, like I stated earlier, it's that DB. It's the secondary for me. It's the secondary. I'm excited it's so many transfers in the secondary. So I want to see who's hungry enough to take the spot. I feel like I don't want to step on toes, but when you get these transfers in, a lot of those guys feel entitled. So who's going to work? Who's going to take these spots? It's only two safeties, a corner. If you got a nickel package, you might have somebody come down, dime, all that type of stuff. But it's only 6 or 7 spots. So it's going to be some people that's left out the rotation. So you're going to stick around or you're not. So I'm really interested in that secondary position. Like we stated earlier, a lot of teams ate us up in that secondary. I'm excited to see Trey Lane. Now, this person here, he's a JUCO on the D line. We talk about Jayceon Greathouse. We talk about Jay Lewis. Trey Lane, watch out for Trey Lane as well. I'm interested to see how he is on the end. And And of course, like we stated with the offensive line, how they come together, how they gel. Because you got to remember, we're coming in with a new scheme. So a lot of those O linemen that were already intact, like Black, who's one of our offensive linemen, those guys were run first guys, so they knew how to drive downhill. Now we're more of a pass first oriented offense, so those guys will have to practice and dropping back a little more. So the whole scheme has changed. So I'm interested to see how they gel as well with Coach Dooley and his style, because now you're not just going down here. You're going to have to do more pass blocking with the scheme that we're bringing in. And also Ethan Howard. Ethan Howard is, I feel like he's closest to Darren Waller from the Raiders. I feel like he should definitely get a few looks as well.
Oh man, I like that. So go ahead, G man. Talk about what's going on over there in Lorman, man.
I got two big things. One, of course, is replacing Felix Harper. Like I said earlier, that's going to be big for us. We got 3 quarterbacks who I think we have more on the roster. I think 3 at the top. We have 3 quarterbacks that they're going to be battling for their position. Like I said, Aaron Allen from Louisiana Tech, he can run and he can pass. We got Trey Lawrence, who's really only a passer. And then we have Markevion Quinn, who can basically, I'm not going to say only run, but he's a run first quarterback. He's 6'4", long legs. He can really long strike and really run. So we have all 3. I think it'll be interesting to see. And we also have a new quarterback coach, Jason Phillips. And one thing I know about Jason Phillips, whoever wins that spot, you got to earn it. I know we got the transfer from Louisiana Tech, but he's not going to come in the door and just take it. One thing I know about Jason Phillips, he's going to come in there, he's going to make him work, and he's going to make him earn it. So I think whoever wins that quarterback spot is going to be big for us. I like what we have right now at the quarterback spot, but whoever wins is going to be big. And number 2 is the defense. We got a new defensive coordinator, Cedric Thomas. He was actually our defense coordinator in 2016, 2017. So he's familiar with the program. He left with the UAPB as their head coach, and now he's back as our defensive coordinator. I think that's going to be big because he's going to change the scheme. And so one of our biggest problems on defense was we couldn't get no pressure on the quarterback. I mean, we literally could get no pressure on the quarterback. And one thing about Cedric Thomas, he gonna put some pressure on the quarterback. If he don't do nothing, sometimes in the past when he was there, I thought he put too much pressure. He hit the house whenever. So it's gonna be interesting if he can manufacture some pressure on that quarterback. I want to see what our DNs do because I wasn't pleased with our DNs last year. I'm just gonna be honest. We brought in some transfer poor guys' names, and they were they're highly touted, but when we got here, they kind of didn't really pan out. So we brought some JUCO guys in. I know our coaches felt like, the JUCO was also not only do high school kids get looked over because of the portal, but also JUCO kids get looked over. So it's some really good talented players in JUCO that get looked over. So we brought in some DN, brought in 4 defensive ends from JUCO, and so hopefully I want to see if we can make sure we can get some pressure on the quarterback this year. That's going to be my biggest thing, getting pressure on the quarterback with our new DC. Pressure the quarterback. It'll help our back end out a lot. A lot of people don't know we started a true freshman and walk-on freshman at corner last year for the second half of the year. And so I think that'll really help us out a lot on that back end in our secondary. Just getting pressure on the quarterback.
Man, I like it. And I kind of agree with y'all on everything. One, also, the other thing with Southern, too, and Jay, I'll get your opinion on this. I also want to see how Kobe Dillon matures because he had such a great freshman year. And the sophomore slump's a real thing in college football. So has he been getting bigger, faster, stronger? Then how's he going to fit into the offense now that his role might not be exactly the same? And I also want to see, does he emerge as the sole back, or is Southern going to stick with that rotating door if we're going to use 3-4 running backs in a game? And can you let Kobe Dillon be the focal point of the offense, man? So how do you feel about Kobe Dillon's development and what you've heard around the program?
What I've been hearing so far is Kobe Dillon has taken over that leadership role in the program. We're going to go as far as he takes us, but we also have JJ Sims as well. I feel like they're both, like lightning and thunder, pretty much. JJ Sims is more of the power back. Kobe Dillon is more of flashy. He can run out in the flats as well and catch a pass. So I'm interested. We also have a JUCO transfer. I'm sorry, I can't think of his name right now, but he's more of a downhill guy as well. So honestly, it's just how Coach Dooley decides that he wants to. Whoever takes it is what I'm hearing in camp at all positions. At every position on the field is whoever takes it. Even all the way to Jordan Lewis. Jordan Lewis put on 225 as well, but no one spot is guaranteed this spring is what I'm hearing. But I think from what I'm hearing as well is Kobe Dillon he's taking over as the leader of the program.
Man, and I like it. I mean, chemistry along the O line. I mentioned it last season with Jackson State. We never saw it. I think FAMU was the SWAC standard of chemistry along the offensive line with Keenan Forbes and J. Jackson Williams and etc. But for Alcorn, for me, it's of course the quarterback battle is going to take up a lot of the, I guess, headlines. But also they lose one of their top wide receivers, and I also think an underrated loss was Jawan Taylor in the secondary. I think at safety, he was all over the place. I think he really showed out at the HBCU combine. So I want to see how they replace him because I think safety is an overlooked position. You look at what FAMU lost with Antoine Collier and Marquise Bell. Jawan Taylor kind of played that similar role where he was the like outfielder in that secondary where he could go into the slot. He could play that deep third. So I really want to see how that secondary comes together. So, G, have you heard anything about that safety spot? Because I think Jawan Taylor, with his experience,
Yeah.
being a SWAC championship MVP, how are they replacing what they lost with him?
Malcolm McGee is a kid. He can play safety. He's Colorado State transfer. He played last year. He dealt with some injuries as well. But Malcolm McGee, he plays nickel and safety. He's gonna be that lead. He's gonna be that vocal leader on our defense. Really good kid, a good tackler in space. So I think he's gonna replace Jawan Taylor. I think honestly he can step right in and replace him really well. He's one of my favorite players on the defense, Malcolm McGee.
I like it. And I know I saw the comment, man. You don't have to, if you don't want to put your money on someone this early, I understand. They want to know who your money is on to win the QB battle as of right now.
I'm gonna go with Aaron Allen just because he can do both. He can run it and he can throw it. But it's gonna be I got Aaron Allen or Trey Lawrence. Trey Lawrence is a superb freshman. He has an arm. He has a cannon, but I think he's a little underweight, a little slim. I think his body needs to mature or whatever. But I will go with Aaron Allen right now just because he has reps already, college starts, and so I'll go with Aaron Allen. Experience.
I like it on that one. And then finally, man, we already talked about the positional battles, but just a way too early preview expectations for each of these teams. G, take it away. What are your expectations for Alcorn this season?
Well, I only have big expectations, so I'm expecting a SWAC championship. That's the only thing. That's the only way it's SWAC championship or bust for me. I don't want. I'm honestly gonna go back. Celebration Bowl or bust. Anything else is a bad year. I don't care if we make it to the Celebration Bowl and lose by a field goal in the last minute. Bust. It's SWAC. We've done everything else. We've done everything all these other programs trying to accomplish. We've done all that. For me now, it's Celebration Bowl or bust. I want, I also like an FCS win, but Celebration Bowl or bust for me. And I think we can do it with good quarterback play, and we tighten up their offensive line. And I trust Elliot Radden, who's a really, really good offensive line coach. I trust Elliot Radden to bring them in and just mold that group together, offensive line, defensive line. I think we're good in the skill position with CJ Bowler and Warren Anthony at receiver. I think we're good. There. We just got to fix that offensive line, defensive line. I think we brought the pieces in to do that. And my expectation is to win it all, nothing less.
Man, I like the high expectations, man. Go into the season, think you're going to win it all. So I'm assuming, J Max, yours is probably about the same, man. So what's your expectations for Southern as of right now?
Look, man, what's funny? I heard G say they done it all the other SWAC schools. Y'all ain't won a Celebration Bowl yet, G. They had another SWAC school they won it. Okay, cause I just want to make sure. But I'm 9-1. I feel like and I actually think call me crazy. I actually think we'll compete in the game that I'm expecting us to lose in. But I think we'll compete against LSU. But
crazy.
Yeah,
crazy.
Crazy. Hey, so see for the listeners that don't know about SWAC and the food, I gotta say this. One thing about me and G, we gonna go back and forth. This is what we do.
All
this
day.
is what we do. We talk noise all day
off
the camera. You ought to see the text message thread. But I think we're gonna go 9-1. I really do. I'm excited to see the quarterback battle. Bashawn McCoy, Bo McDaniel. I want to see who takes that. Take the rounds, because like I said, with Dooley back there, offensive coordinator, they're gonna get a lot of pass opportunities back there. So I hope whoever loses the battle, I hope they stay around just in case something happens. We could have a good fallback as well. I'm excited to see the D line that we have. Like I said, we bulked up the D line We bulking up the offensive line. A few places we were weak was the wide receivers, so we brought a few in. Like I said about the receiver from Coffeyville, and we got a few other receivers, and we got a tight end. So I feel like we have a good, solid, all around offense. We bulked up that defense. You know, Kobe Phillips transferred from Tulane. Like I said, Joshua Sharp from Mississippi State. So I'm really just, you know, the season can't come fast enough. The season can't come fast enough. I'm excited to see how it all comes together. I got the coach I want. You know, I'm excited. I'm excited.
Okay, so you know me, man. Listen, I'm the Power 5 FCS SWAC guy. Like, I cover everything. I need to ask because I like my old co-host lives on LSU's campus. Like, that dude eats, breathes, sleeps LSU. What is keeping it close with LSU? I need like a definition because I need like tangible, like how close are we talking in Death Valley on a Saturday night at like 7 p.m. when that it's going to be sold out regardless of who they play?
40-24. 2 touchdowns. 2.5. 40-24. Hey, look at the one thing about these big time programs. First off, LSU they coming off a down season, so we catching them slipping right now. And what I was looking at their recruiting class as well, and it's not that high. But I feel like most of the kids that we're bringing in from these schools, you know, they coming to us for a reason. I ain't saying we're gonna beat them, but we're gonna keep it close. We're gonna keep it close. So when you log on to FanDuel and all that other stuff, remember what J Max told you. You better take the bet. Don't lose the bet.
Don't lose y'all. Take the bet. Listen, don't lose y'all rent money listening to J Max. Okay, do not go out there betting your car no money listening to J Max. Okay,
but everybody know these games are won and lost in the trenches, right? And like I told you earlier, we beefed up the trenches that we already had. Devin Cotton, who's been a phenomenal SWAC player, has come from LSU. You know, Cam Peterson, all those kids, so we could sub them in. We're just going to continue to sub them in. O-line, we bulked it up a little bit more. So I feel like the game is won and lost on trenches. And I honestly believe we have a good 8 rotation of guys that can play, which is what you need when you're going against those Power 5 schools.
Listen, man, I love the thought process and the belief, but listen, I'm gonna do you a favor. I'm in the bio of this video. I'm gonna put J Max is not responsible for any money lost on September, like I think it was like 12th. I'm gonna do you a favor because you're gonna get some calls and be like, J Max, can you pay my rent this month? I believed you, and LSU won by 20. And so I'm just going to do you that favor for you, man. But I saw a question in here that I like. Who is one player that nobody is talking about or we might not even know about yet that is getting you guys excited for the 2022 season for your team?
Ooh, I got a couple. I'm going to give 2. I'm going to give one, Struck Griffin. He was a freshman tight end last year. He came on late in the season. He's a really good receiving tight end for us. He can line up outside, 6'3", 215, can run it, he can block, soft hands, can move, run routes. He came on late for us and played really, really good. And also Juan Anthony. I think this is the year that Juan Anthony shows, you know, how good of a receiver he is. It's his senior year. He's really leading our receiving core. He's been great this whole time at Alcorn. I think this is the year he takes that step and dominates the league.
Ooh,
I like that. Go ahead, J Max.
I spoke about him earlier. Trey Lane. Remember the name. Trey Lane coming off the end. He's a transfer. I think he's poised to have a big. I feel like Jordan Lewis will get a lot of attention. So with him over there, of course, everyone knows Jayceon Gray has. I'm just excited to. Honestly, my favorite part of this team will be the D line. I'm excited to see how they gel together. And whoever's not getting double teamed the most, they're going to eat. They're going to have an opportunity to eat. So that's why I figure it's going to be Trey Lane, because I feel like all the attention will go to Jayceon. A lot of attention will go to Jordan. A lot of attention will go to Cotton. But with him as well on there, I feel like he'll be able to get his shine on.
Oh, man, listen, I'm going to go with Trey Lane for you. Listen, I watched the film. I heard, you guys talk about him. I've heard Scotty talk about him. I went and looked myself. I mean, that guy has an opportunity to lead the SWAC in sacks this year. I'll say that. I mean, I think he's that good, especially because he's unproven at this level. So I think probably for the first 4 or 5 weeks, Jordan Lewis is going to be getting all the attention, and Trey Lane is going to get a lot of one-on-one opportunities on the backside, I would imagine. And for Alcorn, I like that pick because I mean I think there's a wide open spot at the wide receiver spot, but I really want to see if someone at that running back spot, now that you need a sidekick, now that Stafford Anderson is leaving, I want to see who that number 2 running back is going to be. So I think that's kind of who I want to see kind of step up for Alcorn. But guys, the call-in number is 334-209-5894. Scrolling across the bottom. Listen, I tried to follow Scotty's instructions. The weight room thing went out on me today. So listen, if you don't get answered, just call back until I answer y'all. Listen, we're trying to get like off script over here, but we're not. We just do it like this. But man, so call in with your questions for Swac'n a Fool, man, and we'll take calls for probably 15-20 minutes, man. They got stuff to do. You see my guy J-Bax is in a barber shop, and I'm sure G's got some stuff to do tonight, man. So we won't be on here all night, but y'all get y'all's calls in with any of the questions that y'all have for them, man. But quickly, looking at what the SWAC this offseason, man, how excited are you guys for the season with Jackson State being on ESPNU for the spring game, with all the potential TV things coming down the pipeline? How big of a season is this for the SWAC as a whole?
I think it's gonna be big, and I think it's gonna be one of our biggest years. Just all the hype around it, and Hugh Jackson being at Grambling, and them bringing in 75 transfers, and just Jackson State being Jackson State. I think we got a lot more eyes than we've ever had. I think it's gonna be an interesting year, real interesting year.
Yeah, it's definitely gonna be some good football. Alabama A&M, they loaded as well. We cannot sleep on Alabama A&M. It's gonna be some good football. I'm excited. I'm hoping that we get a lot of those big games, a lot of those rivalry games are the ones that's featured. Your Jackson States and your Southerns, or your Alcorn and Southern, Alcorn Jackson State, Alabama A&M Jackson State. All those big games, Alabama A&M, Alabama State. I hope those are the ones that we get a lot of features on. When it comes to national TV.
Man, I like it. Let's see. Caller, you're live with the Bluebloods and Swac'n a Fool. Go ahead.
Yo, what's up, Blue and Scotty?
Oh man, what's up, Scotty? This one's gonna be on woman. What you got?
There you go.
Man, first of all, you hard to get into than a radio station, bro. This ain't hard. But no, my question is for Swac'n a Fool, J Mac, and all of them. My thing is this: what are you looking for Dooley to do? That's for Southern and Alcorn for G. What are your expectations with McNair coming off the season that he had? What expectations are you looking for him to do with what he has?
I'm gonna keep it simple, Scotty. We just want a passing game. That's all we want. That's what we've been wanting for the last 3 or 4 years. We just want a consistent passing game. We want a quarterback, that can sit back there, read a coverage, and get the ball to our receivers. We like to cheer in the stands. Running is fine as long as you win it, but we want some high-flying, big number. We want a passing game. We want Showtime Hollywood. That's what we're looking for.
Go ahead, Jay.
And for me, I can tell you this: our coaches are pissed. The season we had last, our coaches, I've never seen them more pissed and locked in than they are this year. McNair is pissed. I mean, extremely. He felt like he had that was our worst season we had in 2012.
What's up, caller? You're live. My bad.
What's going on, Bluebloods and Steve St. Phillips?
Hey, man. Oh, hang on, man. I'm going to get you on real quick. I'll mute you and let G finish, and then you're going to get back on.
All right.
Go ahead, man.
Yeah, I just feel like, we're really pissed at what's going on. Our coaches are locked in. They feel like, we're being overlooked, because we didn't bring in 50 transfers and, but as far as expectations, I expect a championship. And I know that's what Fred McNair, anything other than the Celebration Bowl is a bust. Like I said, anything other than the Celebration Bowl is a bust, 100%. There's no more victories. I feel like last year we had some injuries and all those things, but you can't make excuses. Go out there and get some more depth. And I think that's what we did this year. There won't be no excuses. Championship or bust.
Man, I love the expectations. Go ahead, Steve, man. You're live.
What's going on, fellas? How y'all boys doing?
What's going on?
What's up?
Hello?
What's going on?
You there, man?
Hello?
Hey.
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay,
here.
we got
Yeah,
you.
All right. Yeah, I was just letting y'all boys know I'm the one y'all hit up on Facebook to get to the FAMU alumni group. I just want to say congratulations on Alcorn on beating Northwestern State. That was a big out of conference win. Some of the SWAC schools like getting those D2 cupcakes. Southern got a good coach and all that. But I'm gonna let y'all boys ride out, man. Good luck, man. Thanks, Blue.
Hey, appreciate the call, man. Oh, had to
That
call out the
that
D2 schools, man. Southern's getting no love out here.
Hey, it is what it is. We're gonna do what we need to do to get where we need to go.
Oh man, I know. Like for me, man, I know that Northwestern State one was big. 'Cause, I mean, even Stafford Anderson
yeah.
came on here and said that was his former school, and I think that was one of the few games that the SWAC won. I mean, for you guys looking at all the schedules. Oh well, hang on, we got another caller here. Caller, you're live.
Yo, I just had a question for Swac'n the Fool. What y'all think about Jordan Lewis potentially moving to linebacker? Because Dooley threw that out there in one of his early interviews.
My dog Keith. What up, Big Keith? I like it. I like it. I like it, especially with like I said, with the talent of D line we have. It just depends on what type of scheme though. If you're running a 3-4, I could see it, but I can't really see him being a traditional linebacker. Maybe a standing up, maybe a drop, where he has the option to pass rush if he wants. But we'll see if they can make it work with some type of 3-4 type of scheme like that. Then yeah, I love to see it because I feel like if he's going to the NFL, they're going to have him stand up as well.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I think he'll be better as a stand-up linebacker than because he's a small guy. He's what 230 at the
Right.
back, and they're playing with them big old tats. That's why he stay hurt so much. I think they should slide him to the linebacker and let him be drop back and cover some time and just rush the pass.
Yeah.
Caller, you're live on the Blue Bloods.
Yo.
601, you're live.
Oh, I'm live? Oh, okay, my bad. What up, man? This G. What up, G? This Jay. I ran you.
So no on
What's
that
up? You lost it?
Yeah, I think we lost him. Here we go. We got another one. Caller, you're live.
Hey, what's up, Blue?
What's up?
Hey, this is Swac'n the Fool. I want to get y'all thoughts on what Grambling, on y'all expectations for Grambling, how y'all think that affect the West Division this year. You think they're the team to beat?
I personally don't think they're the team to beat. I mean, what has Hugh proven yet? Yeah.
I mean, I think they're catching up. I think this recruiting class is just to catch up. Basically, they signed with 37 players. My biggest thing is the quarterback. What you gonna do at the quarterback position? That's gonna be the biggest question mark now. One of the quarterbacks can come in there and play pretty good. I think they'll have a shot. But I think this big class, will just catch up because Brown was very, very bad. I gave them flack all last year. They played hard for 5, but talent-wise, I didn't think they had much talent. So they needed a class like they had to come in and catch up. And so I think, they're up to par now. I think it's going to be a tight West battle, but I think the best quarterback is going to take it.
Oh, I like it. Let's see. I got 601 again. 601, you're live.
All right. My question for G. First of all, I want to say, man, y'all boys doing a great job, man. So my question is to G. What do you feel like do we need to get better at? Do you think it is the running game or the passing game? Do you feel like we abandoned the running game like back from like 2018, 2017 when we was just grounding and pounding, when we was just running down folks and stuff like that? So what do you feel like we need to get back to?
I think it's both, which is why I thought Aaron Allen had the heads up. I think we need to get better in both. I think basically our offensive line needs to be more dominant because when we were dominant, our offensive line was dominant. We could beat you either way. If you load the box, we're gonna throw it. If you drop back, we're gonna run it. So I think basically both. But I do think our running game is a little bit ahead right now with the running backs we have. Nico Duffy. We brought in the Syracuse transfer who started games at Syracuse. He got real minutes. He ran for 800 yards at Syracuse. A downhill bruiser back. So I think the running game will be a little ahead right now. But I think both. I want us to open it up as well. Open the playbook up if the quarterback can.
No, I agree, man. The offensive line caused so many problems for Alcorn. Like, if you switched Alcorn and Southern's offensive line last year, I mean, I think Alcorn has a real good chance of winning the division. I mean, to be honest, especially with Tyreek Carter and them.
Yeah, I think a lot of that early was had to do with a lot of our injuries early. Like I said, without that center, it kind of once you lose your center, it kind of throws everything off. And so, but I got faith in our OC and O-line coach to really fix all that. And towards the end of the year, it even got better towards the end of the year. We were able to run the ball better.
Man, and so Lawrence here sent a question in. How important is it to host the title game since the home team is undefeated? And hang on real quick. Go ahead, 404. You're live, and then we'll answer Lawrence's question.
Hey, this is Mr. Ford. Can you hear me?
Yes, we got you loud and clear, Mr. Ford.
Okay, let me say this to my brother from Alcorn. Your biggest problem is not on the football field, it's in the president's office. Your president is encroaching on the territory of Dr. Carolyn Myers when they had a zoo going at Jackson State. And some of the things that I'm hearing about what she's done to Coach McNair and to that football program is going to translate in the fall. You have to understand, championships begin in the president's office. When you look at Alcorn's history, you have had presidents who not only supported Marino Castle, but they also supported Coach Whitney and Rat and all of them other people that they had. You're not getting that. I hate to tell you, but I think you're going to have some problems because you don't have a full commitment from your president's office. Now, let me say this to this brother from Southern. Wherever Dooley goes, there's never an offensive problem. Dooley's problem has always been defense because he's all offense. Now, one of the best moves that Dooley made was to bring Terrence Graves from Grambling down to Southern. Southern, here's the situation with Southern. If Southern plays Pete Richardson type defense, baby, they're going to be one of the top 2 or 3 teams in the SWAC. You don't have to worry about that. But let me just say this. The thing that surprised me, when you look at Eric with Dooley got that boy Devontae Kincaid. Devontae Kincaid really kind of like took over the SWAC, okay? He played for the Celebration Bowl twice. I thought he would go out and get a quarterback from a Power 5 school to bring to Southern, but I don't know. Did that happen? Did he bring a Power 5 quarterback to Southern yet?
No.
No, not yet.
Did Dooley? Okay,
not yet.
So that's what I was thinking he would do. But I'm going to say this about Dooley. One thing about Southern, and a lot of people don't understand this about Southern. I've been keeping up with Southern for years. I've read I'm actually a Grambling graduate. Okay, I read about Coach Mumford. Y'all just think that's the name of a stadium, but Coach Mumford was a trailblazer and a pioneer in HBCU football. And what he did, like Jake Gaither, he created a monster. And what he did was the only way you can feed that monster is with championships. And so I'm going to say this to you right now. Dooley, this year, he's got to win 9 games. Okay? FAMU, Southern, they don't take no excuses. Their expectations are just like Alabama Crimson Tide. They want a championship. Okay? He's a homeboy. But let me just say this to you. If it don't work out for him in 3 years, baby, Eric gone. Because that's Southern. Y'all got to understand it. One thing about Southern, they will pay you good, but they'll fire you also. So, Blue, you got any questions for me before I head? And let me say this, Scott, I hope you're listening. I heard you tearing down my commissioner today. Let me go on the line right now, Scott, and tell you this. Dr. McClellan is one of the best commissioners in the country. I heard you tearing him down today. But I'm going to tell you this. That man is a brilliant man. That man ain't got no degrees that was given to him. He earned, okay? We in the best situation for the administration, probably since we had Dr. Franks. And I'm gonna tell you right now, I met Dr. Franks. Dr. Franks was a good commissioner for the SWAC. He ain't got nothing on Charles McClellan. Okay, so yeah, I heard you tearing him down today, but I would say this to you and anybody who can hear my voice. I'm gonna say it, and I'm gonna turn it over to y'all. Charles McClellan is one of the best commissioners in the United States. Okay, so you can say all that about him. Yeah, he might have made a mistake here and there, but I'll bet on him any day. Listen, Blue, y'all got any questions for me before I go?
Nah, Mr. Ford, we ain't got no questions. Thanks for the call in, man.
Hey, Blue.
Okay,
I got it.
have a good night.
I gotta give it. I gotta give it to him. He know exactly what he's talking about when it comes to Southern University. G could attest to this. We talked to Pete Richardson when we were in Alabama, and Pete said one thing about Southern: if you don't win, it don't matter who it is. G, am I lying?
Hey, that's what he said.
He said it don't matter who it is.
No matter who it is.
Southern to get them out of here. Yep.
Yeah. And just to speak on what he said about our administration, I 100% agree with him. But because I spoke out about my displeasure about just turmoil on both sides going on back and forth. But what I can say is that we're fixing that bridge. It's getting much better. We just hired a new AD, so it's getting much better.
Oh, man, you're live, Scotty. I figured this call-in was happening.
You come on, man. Now you know I don't duck and hide from nothing. Now you know how I get down. It's real. He might be the best commissioner. Never said he wasn't, but he's not the best at taking accountability. If you can get out in there in the public face and take credit for everything that you're doing and all the moves you're making, you can take credit about drop the ball for UAPB and they ain't got no game. How about that? Take credit for that too. You know what I'm saying? You putting yourself in an ESPN deal, but can UAP team, now they playing North America lacrosse. Make that make sense to me. That's all I got to say, Mr. Ford. And since you was listening, you're always welcome to call into my show. You don't got to be on my Boy Wonder. You don't got to be on his show. You know I'm for the smoke all day, every day. All right, Blue, keep doing what y'all doing. Love it. Watch it.
Oh man. But man, so didn't expect that tonight, man. So anybody
they escalated quick.
Hey, yeah, it escalated real quick, man. But anybody else with any questions, man, we'll take like 1 or 2 more calls, man. We'll let my guys run. But oh man. Let's see.
I mean, I agree with off script what he said about the UAPB. I feel, I think UAPB got holes in the situation. By the way, so you go take the next call.
Hey, hang on, Scotty. Yeah, you live, man. I think I lost you.
Okay. All right.
Oh.
My question is to G again. G, what do you think about the new AD at Alcorn?
I love it. Ray Nardino is our new AD. I think that's been something that's been holding us back. We finally have an Alcornite that's an AD. He's a great. He played football at Alcorn. He's a graduate of Alcorn. I think that's going to help mend that bridge, like that Mr. Ford was talking about earlier. With all the turmoil, I think that was the first step of fixing everything. And I think our coaches are happy with the hire, and everyone's happy right now. So we got to ride that wave that hopefully comes in and ensures us some things we got going wrong.
Man, that was saying we got another caller here. Caller, you're live.
Hello?
Hey.
Oh, I'm live, Blue?
Yeah, you're live.
Okay, I want to ask J Mac and my man there. They keep saying that we don't have a quarterback at Grambling, but Southern and Alcorn don't have a quarterback also. So all three of those schools don't have a quarterback.
Yeah.
So I'm seeing J Mac say that they'll go 9-1. Blue said anything but the Celebration Bowl. Well, everybody got a new quarterback. I can see if they had Dion's son where he had that type of experience. So that's hard to say that you're gonna have that type of season when your quarterback have not shown themselves.
Well,
that's my biggest question. Like I just said, whoever has the best quarterback back out of the three will win the conference. Will win at least outside. I think that's the best. And I think Alcorn Southern has more talent coming back that we can say that. No, we have proven talent coming back. Grambling has zero proven talent coming back. Not zero proven talent, but they don't have much proven talent coming back. I think Southern has a proven defensive line, proven offensive line. I think we have a proven backfield, proven receivers, a proven safety. So I think we have proven players coming back to where we get that quarterback, we're gonna take off. I feel the same for Southern. They get that nice quarterback, we're gonna take off. For Grambling, they get that, you know, I think if they do get I think they have enough talent to where if they do get a quarterback, they will be good. But it's a lot more unknowns in Grambling than it is at Alcorn or Southern, in my opinion.
And we have a proven coach at both schools.
Oh yeah. That too.
Any other questions, man?
Well, I'm listening to G, and I'm listening to G, and I'm listening to J back. They say improving. I mean, everything is not proven that you can throw the ball up in the fall. I mean, everybody can come off the spring and say that they had a good spring, but once those lights come on in the fall, it's a whole different ball game. And I think that they know that. So, I mean, yeah, it's all right to say that my team gonna go 9-1. You know, you can postpone that high expectation. But at the end of the day, you got to play the game. And I guarantee you, Southern would not go 9-1, and Alcorn would not go 8-3. So they would go more like 7-4, something like that. I just think the West is the toughest side. Or you just have Florida A&M and Jackson State on that one side. But the West, I just really think the toughest side. You put Texas Southern in that mix, and you got to play. So I just don't see those high numbers like y'all saying.
I mean, I agree with you. I just think, you know, we got to go out there and prove it. I think the East is the tougher side. I think the West has more parity. You know, I think it's closer. You know, we have more things called PV, Graham, Alcorn. I don't think there's a big gap. I think they're all right there. So I think that's why I say the quarterback, the proven, whoever has the best quarterback gonna take their side.
I appreciate the call, man.
Thank you, Blue.
Awesome, man. We'll take one more caller, man, and we're gonna get out of here. We'll answer this question from Lawrence, man. I know he's been trying to get this question in for a minute, but man, y'all can start on, man. How important is it to host a title game?
Speaking that I'm the only one on here that can talk about the title game, I'll go first. Okay, so as far as I think, what a lot of people miss is the revenue. You keep the school keeps 100% of the revenue. So I think that's really big. Just from a revenue standpoint, you keep the parking, you keep the tickets. The SWAC keeps nothing. So I think that's really big, and just that home field advantage. Just that, you know, it's hard. Like I know for Alcorn, I want it there because it's hard to come to Alcorn and win. You know, a lot of people come to the reservation with a dream, but they leave with an L. That's what I like to tell them. You come to the reservation with a dream, you leave with an L. So you know, I think it's very important to keep it at home because, you know, you keep that revenue at the school that wins it. I think they deserve it.
Yeah, and pretty much, Lawrence, you answered the question yourself. You know, the home team is undefeated. So if you have it at the you have that home field advantage, like G said. But you know, when it comes to Baton Rouge, Jigga City will be rocking. You can guarantee that. 225 deuce in the quarter will be rocking. We're gonna have Lip Booster, Young Ball. We're gonna have everybody there.
Here you go.
We're gonna have everybody there. It's gonna be a family affair. But we gotta get there though. So I can't say nothing until we get there.
Hey, I mean, that's true. I mean, listen, let's just be honest, man. There's some SWAC schools with some real home field advantages. Who wants to go play in the hole in the middle of December? Not me. I can't think of too many people I'll sign up for that, or go play Bragg and they're doing, and their SWAC surf in the stadium, and that place is oversold by 2-3. Oh yeah, and they expanded it this year. I'm pretty sure, or like rebuilt it so they could fit more people in. I mean, and then let's just be honest. We all know what Jackson is in the SWAC championship. They're going to have 62,000 in the stands. And then you mentioned Baton Rouge. I mean, listen, for some reason it's like a Baton Rouge thing. When you look at LSU, Southern, any school in Baton Rouge, the fans are just going to be next level. So I mean, I agree. I think it's important. I think it's important to have home field advantage regardless, like regular season, anything. I think that's why a lot of us judge records when we do this on YouTube or even sports media people. We look at how many home games. And I think that's another thing. I think Alcorn has like 4, or there's like a streak of like 4 games, I think, all on the road. And it's going to be really tough. Yeah, to get a win there, man. But guys, I'm shutting down the call line right now, man. I'm going to keep my guys all night long. But man, guys, let the people know where they can find your stuff, man. Any shout out, like anything y'all want to say, man, I'll let y'all end the show off.
Swac'n the Fool, like I said, SWAC''N A Fool. You can find us on YouTube. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram. Peace and Tell Photography. That's the person that does our edits. Peace and Tell. Shout out to Peace and Tell. Shout out to Nash. And I'm gonna let G finish the shout out.
Man, shout out to all our supporters. Shout out to everybody that called in today. Shout to the show. Well, we're gonna be dropping episodes soon. I know he got, my Braves lost in basketball, so J Max want to laugh at me. So we're gonna be dropping it soon. So y'all be over there. Shout out to everybody. Shout out to the Braves, big bad Braves.
And shout out to you too, Blue, man, for having us and reaching out. Man, we enjoy being on this platform.
We love to do it.
Yeah, definitely. And like I think we discussed before, if we could have like a big round table with all the guys on, just I feel like that'll be excellent for our culture as well, man. So shout out to you as well.
Hey, man. Hey, definitely appreciate y'all taking some time out of your day. Real quick before we get out of here, yes, we're doing a Blue Bloods bracket pool. The top finisher gets 2 free tickets to any game they want to go to this year, man. So the link is on our social media. It's on our community page for YouTube, man. That's where you can enter the bracket challenge. I know we already got some entries, but guys, appreciate y'all coming on the show. Y'all make sure to go subscribe to Swac'n a Fool. Their channel link will be in the bio of this video. But until next time, guys, the Blue Bloods are out.